Hey, John Hines here. Wow, there was a lot to unpack and process during this week's material. At least I thought so. I really did enjoy listening to the discussion with Dr. Shaw and Mike Shook, and I thought it was awesome to hear their thoughts on the importance of culture of humility, culture awareness, advocacy, and social justice in the counseling profession. I did my best to apply what they said and what they were discussing to our readings. And initially, I was admittedly a little overwhelmed. There were so many things that I realized I just didn't know or wasn't thinking about in regard to my cultural awareness as a counselor. I realized that I was probably in the category of individuals that Dr. Shaw spoke about that had an inflated opinion about my cultural awareness and abilities as a counselor. In general, I feel like I've always felt like I was a culturally aware individual, or at least more so than I used to be. Um, but I suppose that could be the inflated view of my own multicultural competence that I've now learned about that counselors often have. Um, I'm not where I need to be, and after this week, I'm more aware of some of the areas where I need to become more informed. Um, one of the things that was really eye opening to me was the data that suggested that so many counselors have that inflated opinion about their own cultural competence. But what I do know is that as a counselor, I'm called to advocate for my clients, especially when they're unable to do that for themselves and concerning issues relevant to the counseling field. Um, to accomplish this mission, I must be culturally competent. And I must possess cultural humility, or in other words, I must develop a multiculturally open orientation to work with diverse clients. Um, in a way, method that I could use to accomplish this is in developing of knowledge about different cultures and cultural perspectives, um, skills to utilize culturally appropriate approaches, um, and awareness of my clients and their cultural heritage and the influence of culture and attitudes and beliefs and experience. And that comes from the tripartite developmental model, which was developed by uh, Durald Wing Su and colleagues. So I would also utilize the four key principles of cultural humility: self-reflection, learning from the client, promotion of partnership building, and lifelong learning. Um, you know, I use all of those approaches in combination with my Christian worldview um, when advocating for my clients. And something that I think is super important is that I must not forget that the client's perspective is the most important, and that I'm here to serve and help them in ways that they are unable to um, help themselves. I'm not a professional counselor yet, but I am a Christian, and as a Christian, I will demonstrate cultural um, humility, or at least I hope and pray that I demonstrate cultural humility because I believe in social justice and the basic dignity and rights of each and every person on earth. We were all created and are all loved by the same God, regardless of race, ethnicity, culture, socioeconomic status, religion, sex, and sexual preference. Um, we all deserve to be treated with fairness and compassion, and that's how I feel. And that is what I will take into my work as a counselor as I advocate for my clients. You know, our God is just, and He is for justice for all of His children, um, not just a select few. It's all of us. And scriptures like one in Psalms that tells us to defend the poor and the fatherless and to do justice for the afflicted and the needy. Um, that's what I feel like I'm called to do, and I'm called to do it for all people. Um, that's what I feel in my heart, and it's my prayer that I'll only continue to grow in my cultural awareness and humility. Um, thanks for watching, and God bless.